3 big changes to Social Security by Congress. I have all the details and what they're now suggesting right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, Congress has a bunch of different ideas and plans to change Social Security and make sure that this plan has the ability to continue paying out all of the promised and guaranteed benefits for many more years to come into the future for all of the tens of millions of beneficiaries. Well, in this video, I want to talk about the 3 most common and popular ways that they want to change Social Security that would impact a lot of people in a pretty big way. Therefore, let's get into it and talk through these one at a time. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything showing up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low-income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. Alright, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk through these one by one as far as the plans that Congress is floating to make sure that Social Security remains solvent and all of these benefits are able to be paid out every single month for the millions of beneficiaries who rely on them in a really, really big way. So if you're watching this video, I would anticipate you're probably a Social Security beneficiary or you're some type of fixed income beneficiary. As a result of that, you probably agree with me, just like we see with all the reports out there, that fixed income benefits are so incredibly important and make up the vast majority of beneficiaries' monthly income, right? So let's talk through what Congress is floating and the ideas. Now, full disclaimer before we get into this, I'm going to say this much. As of right now, none of these have actually been passed through Congress. However, they're floating many, many different ideas. In fact, they have way more than the 3 I'm going to be covering here in this video, but these are the 3 most popular ones that I continue to see coming up and what Congress continues to talk about. So that's what I want to discuss. Even though there are many, many more ideas out there, these are the most common. All right, so let's walk through these one by one. And again, I'm going to focus on each individual one. I'm not going to take a ton of time, but I'll try to describe them in as much detail as fast as I can here. All right, so number 1 would be raising the full retirement age. So as of right now, the full retirement age is anywhere between the ages of 66 and 67. Anybody born in 1960 or later, the full retirement age is the age of 67, right? However, they are talking about raising the full retirement age up to 68, 69, and possibly even 70 years old because life expectancies here in the United States continue to rise. Now remember, way back in 1935 when Social Security was brought into fruition, when the bill was passed and Social Security started, the life expectancies here in the United States were honestly a lot lower, right? They were in the mid and lower 60s is what the average life expectancy was at that time. However, today, life expectancies are between the ages of 84 and 86. Not bad, right? That's pretty good. So, as a result of that, they're talking about raising the full retirement age, again, somewhere above where it currently is right now, because they're suggesting this is, 67, the full retirement age. As a result of that, this is causing some people to start drawing on Social Security and claim Social Security benefits for 15, 20 plus years in some instances. Again, that's pretty awesome, right? It's pretty nice to be able to claim benefits for that long, right? Well, Congress is apparently having a little bit of a problem with this, right? Again, I'm not instilling my opinions here. I'm just simply telling you this is what they're talking about. So this is change number 1 that they are possibly discussing, and realistically, them raising the full retirement age probably has a very, very high likelihood. They're probably going to do this. However, will they actually raise it up to the age of 70? Eventually, probably. However, they'll probably raise it up to 68 first, then 69, and then obviously 70, and I would not be surprised at all to see the full retirement age go even above the age of 70. So I'm just saying, these are some of the plans that they are talking about, and again, I want to bring all this to your attention. All right, so that is plan number 1. Number 2 is increasing the maximum taxable earnings, okay? Now, this one doesn't necessarily directly impact fixed income beneficiaries, but this does have a pretty big impact for fixed income beneficiaries and also a pretty big impact for higher income individuals. Now, number one, why would this be impactful for fixed income beneficiaries receiving Social Security? Well, it simply means more tax revenues coming into Social Security, into the trust funds. So, therefore, pushing out the insolvency date further out into the future. So, here's what happened. In 2022, the maximum taxable earnings was $147,000. In other words, anybody earning up to $147,000 or more, the first $147,000 of earnings was all taxable by Social Security. Any income over that threshold was no longer taxable by Social Security. However, in 2023, they raised that threshold by just under 9% up to $160,200. So now in 2023, the maximum taxable earnings is $160,200. In other words, all income up to that threshold is now taxable by Social Security, meaning more tax revenues coming into the Social Security Trust Fund and ultimately flowing back to the fixed income beneficiaries drawing on Social Security benefits. Not bad, right? So, what they want to do, there's a couple different plans that are floating out there right now. Number one would be raising the maximum taxable earnings up to $250,000. The other one is suggesting raising the maximum taxable earnings up to $400,000. Okay, so there's obviously a little bit of a spread here, a little bit of a discrepancy, but this is what they're suggesting, as this would encompass more higher income people, and not only that, they're paying taxes on a lot more income, right? So this is the other plan, and again, it impacts the higher income people because they'll be paying those taxes on Social Security on those higher incomes, and it'll impact the fixed income beneficiaries because it simply means more money coming into Social Security that ultimately they would pay out to the beneficiaries and make sure that the insolvency date would ultimately be pushed out into the future a little bit further. How much? Well, that's a good question. We don't really know the answer to that as of right now because we don't exactly know how many people this would actually impact, and we don't know how much money this would actually bring in because we don't know how many people it would impact, as in the higher income people. Therefore, we're not really sure the total numbers on this. But they anticipate this would push out the insolvency date of Social Security out into the future at least a little bit. Okay, so that's number two. Now, next, another plan that they're floating out there, and again, I know that this is a controversial one, and this one kind of, gets people worked up a little bit. And honestly, it by all means should, because here's the thing. Here's what they're talking about. Again, going back to the life expectancies that I talked about a little bit earlier, where the life expectancies now are sitting at about 84 to 86 years old. Okay, well, what does that mean? What these lawmakers are now suggesting is canceling the ability to start claiming Social Security prior to full retirement age. So remember, depending on the year that you were born, that dictates your full retirement age. Well, they're basically saying life expectancies being so incredibly high right now, if somebody has the ability to claim Social Security as early as the age of 62, this person could claim Social Security for 20, 25 years in some cases. That's a long time. And remember, back in the mid-30s, when Social Security started, like 88 years ago, almost 88 years ago is when Social Security started. What happened is the life expectancies back then were, mid-60s. Well, most people would start claiming on their benefits, and then life expectancies would suggest that they would only claim for like a year or two, and that was it, right? Well, that's kind of an unfortunate situation. But here, because life expectancies have increased so much and the program has not changed, and again, I'm not instilling my opinions here. I'm not saying what should or shouldn't be done. I'm simply telling you what they're talking about and the logic behind this. Is they're simply saying this is allowing people to claim benefits for so many years now. It's putting major financial strain on the program, whereas say 80 years ago, people would claim and draw for say 2 years, and that was about it, right? Not very long. Couple years, you'd maybe get out of Social Security. Now, people are getting, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plus years on Social Security, right? So, and again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? Pretty nice, right? Not a bad thing at all to be able to draw on those benefits and get them for a very long time. But these lawmakers are saying, this is causing major financial strain on the program because it's a lot of people drawing benefits for many decades, right? So that is what they're suggesting. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Even though they're talking about this one a lot, I don't foresee this one happening, okay? This would need to get unanimous support through Congress, and also by the president, it's not going to happen. I'm going to be real with you. Right now, I do not foresee this one happening. However, I would not be shocked one bit to see them raise the full retirement age to 68, 69, or possibly 70. I would not be surprised at all. In fact, I would expect that one to happen. However, I want to say this much as well. For those of you that were born anytime after the year of 1960, depends on when you're born after that time, it may impact you a little bit, but it's going to be a gradual progression, just like between the years born of 1954 and 1960 as well, where for every year that you were born after 1954, it adds 2 months to your full retirement age, okay? So yes, there will be a little bit of an impact, but it's not going to be like, whoa, we're pushing the full retirement age out, a couple years for you, okay? So yes, it may be impactful in a little bit of a way, but it's likely only going to be by a few months. Again, don't get me wrong. Every month counts right now. Every month that you want to draw your benefits or that you can't draw your benefits, I get it. It all counts, okay? But I just want to make it very clear that it's not like they would push it out like 5 years on you, okay? It's not like they're going to say, oh, sorry, you can't draw your benefits for another 5 years and you were 1 month away, okay? It wouldn't really work that way. But again, we'll have to see how they actually do this. But this is something that I would actually anticipate them to happen, for them to do, is to increase the full retirement age. And as far as the maximum taxable earnings go, again, they continue to increase this each and every year. This is something out of Social Security where they continue to increase it every single year. However, maybe we get some kind of intervention out of Congress where they come in and they raise it up a huge percentage point, over the course of just 1 year alone. And again, they could potentially raise it from the current level right now of $160,200 up to, say, $250,000 or maybe even $400,000 just by congressional action. But again, that one is going to take, again, more support out of Congress, and I just don't foresee that one happening yet. Okay, so anyway, these are the 3 most common that I see floating around out there. These are the ones that Congress is talking about. And again, I want to make this very clear. Like I said earlier, canceling the ability to claim benefits prior to full retirement age as early as the age of 62, I just don't see that one happening right now. So if you are somebody claiming benefits, I wouldn't worry about it. And also another side note about that one as well, it sounds like, to my understanding, is anybody claiming benefits already, it sounds like you'd be grandfathered in and you would not have any issues of them taking your benefit away and saying, you've got to work longer. Sorry, you're not going to get your benefit right now. It doesn't sound like that would happen. It sounds like if you're already claiming your benefits, you're in and you're good to go. But more like it would impact younger generations, like people like me that are, 40 or younger, right? So that's the people that it would impact most likely, according to what I'm finding on this. Anyway, hope this one helps you out to give you a better understanding of what Congress is thinking about right now, what Congress is talking about, and some of the changes they want to implement for Social Security. Either way, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. Also, right down below the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, so you don't miss any videos going forward, as I'm doing all the research and I'm bringing you the latest updates each and every day right here in these videos. Also, share this video with your friends, family, social media, so they can also stay tuned with what is going on with Social Security and the changes that Congress wants to implement for this very important program. And as always, go back and check out some of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. I hope this one helps you, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.